So for any computer, that's because I'm an IT guy. I used to be an IT guy. I'm actually happy to get back into music 100%. But from an IT standpoint, to run an operating system, you need a certain amount of RAM and a certain amount of storage. The RAM on the machine is congruent to the percentage available for use for the operating system. So basically, it's not a lot of RAM being used for the operating system, depending on the machine and the device, depending on the software. So in the case of the MPC, you tend to have the fair amount of RAM available for whatever you're using it for. So that's a good thing. That's a great thing. However, when it comes to the sampling, there's this confusion about the speed of the RAM is actually not a factor when it comes to sampling audio. If you look at an MPC 60, a 2000, a 3000, 2000 XL, 4000, 5000, 1000, all those machines, all the way up to the ones we have today, the RAM speed doesn't matter. It's the storage, the amount of space. The RAM only matters for storage space, the amount of space you have available to store in memory for instant access when you hit that button for that sample. The speed of it doesn't matter. The only time you need to worry about speed is when it comes to processing. And processing matters when it comes to repitching samples, warping samples, or any other thing related to affecting the sample itself directly. That's why when you had the 2000 XL, it ran super fast as a standalone sample machine. But when you started to ask it to change the pitch or to retune the sample and whatever, it would take 5 to 30 minutes because the RAM was not fast enough to do that. For that task, that's when the speed matters, not for when you're using it. The same thing can be said for the plugins. With the type of plugins that we're asking the machine to run, you need faster RAM for that purpose. So from that perspective, that matters, but you also need more of it. And if you have more of it, you can run more things and do more things. I think that's a holdover behavior from when we all just used DAWs. When we were just using computers to do everything, we didn't think about this problem because we solved it. We added more RAM, we added more storage, and we didn't think about it. We just didn't look back. The audio interfaces got better and better and better, and we didn't think about it. So I think what we need to do with the MPCs themselves, and this is only addressing the RAM and the issues with the plugins, because I'm not hitting those problems, and I actively tried to cause those issues, and I haven't found a single one of those. I think we need to adjust our expectations on that part of it. So think of these machines as standalone devices that are primarily samplers that can do all this extra stuff, and then do it that way. I think that will start to adjust the thought process on how you do things.